Well, I'm getting censored again on TikTok. I just tried to upload this video talking about an article that was released recently that basically says there's a congressman who says someone in the military told him that there are alien hybrid programs going on, and TikTok flagged the video, said it violates their community guidelines. So if they're censoring it, that means it's probably something that you should know about, because we all know that these social media platforms always censor the truth and censor anything that is important. So here's the article that I was talking about. Congressman Matt Gaetz claims that a whistleblower told him of an alien-human hybrid program. So I'm going to read just a little bit of this, and then I'm going to share my thoughts. It says, former Congressman Matt Gaetz says a U.S. Army whistleblower briefed him on secret alien-human hybrid breeding programs meant for intergalactic communication. He admitted that he has not verified these claims, which include alleged abductions from war zones and migrant caravans. The remarks come amid heightened political and public interest in UFOs, with critics online ridiculing the unproven allegations. Now remember, this article that I'm reading, this is on MSN, and MSN is a matrix propaganda platform that spreads real misinformation. And I'm going to show you the misinformation that they're spreading right now, and I'm going to tell you what's actually going on. So right here, this part where it says, the alien hybrid breeding programs are meant for intergalactic communication. This is not entirely true. So what I believe is happening is that the hybrid programs, some of them have been going on for a very long time. Some of them are very ancient, and there's been multiple different hybrid programs that have been going on for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Some of the hybrid programs involve genetically engineering the humans to be a slave species to serve the gods. Other hybrid programs involve the fallen angels, which are just extraterrestrials with UFOs and advanced genetic engineering technology, mating with the daughters of men to create a hybrid offspring that is 50% of the Adamic bloodline DNA. That way they could usurp the Adamic bloodline to an extent and gain the inheritance, the rightful dominion over the resources of Earth. And then we also have the hybrid programs going on with the gray aliens, which is, the UFOs abducting people and doing experiments on them, where they are taking sperms from the males and eggs from the females, creating the hybrids, and then even showing the hybrids to the abductees. Now, I'm going to give you my opinion on what the real reason behind this is. And I'm even going to show you the sources where you can look all this stuff up for yourself, because again, I do not just make this stuff up. So what I believe is going on is that the alien grays are attempting to usurp the Adamic bloodline again in the way that the fallen angels did in the Book of Enoch, in the biblical narratives. And the Book of Enoch was censored from the King James Bible, by the way. So if you want to get the Book of Enoch, you can't get it in the King James Bible. You're going to have to get the Ethiopian Bible, which is more complete, or you just order the Book of Enoch from Amazon. But the church tried to hide this from you. So in the Book of Enoch, you have the fallen angels trying to usurp the Adamic bloodline. Now we have this phenomenon where we have these grays, these alien grays with the UFOs. And it seems like they're also trying to usurp the Adamic bloodline by creating these hybrids. And I believe that they're infiltrating the government, and they're trying to create hybrids that look very human, but have the telepathic capabilities of the grays and are actually alien bloodline. And they're trying to infiltrate the government so that they can take over and implement their systems of control and enslavement. That's what I got censored for talking about. Also, too, we see the testimonials of lots of abductees, and they repeat the same exact themes every single time. Hybridization programs, taking of the sperm and the egg. They're usually abducted and then found paralyzed, temporary paralysis, naked on an operating table where the genetic experiments are done to them, and then they're deposited back in their bed or, somewhere in their town. There's a whole bunch of testimonials of this now, and they're all congruent with the same theme. Even people that do DMT and LSD sometimes are able to recall the memories of when they got abducted. So the first book that you can find more information on this it's called The Threat, The Secret Agenda, What the Aliens Really Want and How They Plan to Get It. This is by author David Jacobs. Another one is Birthright, The Coming Post-Human Apocalypse and the Usurpation of Adam's Dominion on on Planet Earth. This is by author Timothy Alberino. Also, read the Chaldean account of Genesis. This is a more ancient text that was translated from a cuneiform tablet that was excavated from Assyrian king Ashurbanipal's library in the city of Nineveh in the 1800s, translated by archaeologist George Smith. And this basically is more complete Genesis story that has all the extra missing puzzle pieces that were left out of the King James English translation. We also have the Atrahasis, which was another cuneiform tablet, a tale of the flood, Noah's flood, the biblical flood, Gilgamesh and other mythologies that are found in the Genesis Bible and in the Old Testament Bible. But these cuneiform tablets prove that the stories are much, much older than people thought and much more complex. Then we also have the Enuma Elish, which is the Epic of Creation, also known as the Seven Tablets of Creation, also cuneiform tablet that was translated in the 1800s and excavated from Ashurbanipal's library in the city of Nineveh. And then we also have the book that will forever change our ideas about the Bible, The Gods Coming from Space. This was a Hebrew translation by Mauro Biglino. He was an Italian translator for the Vatican's own publishing company called the St. Paul Press. But Mauro Biglino does some phenomenal work here because he actually does side-by-side comparisons of the Hebrew translations, and you can compare what the Hebrew translation said to the English translation. And he goes into all kinds of detail about the genetic engineering experiments that the gods were doing when they created the human Homo sapiens. Next book is DMT, the Spirit Molecule by Dr. Rick Strassman. He permission to legally inject volunteers in the 1990s with DMT, which is dimethyltryptamine. It's a powerful hallucinogenic neurotransmitter that interoperates with your brain. He was able to get testimonials of people getting taken up on alien ships, laying in operating tables, being part of genetic hybrid experiments on DMT. Then we also have the Book of Enoch, which was censored from the King James Bible. This is the story of the fallen angels, which are just extraterrestrials with advanced technologies and UFOs that created the hybrid Nephilim offspring after mating with the daughters of men so that they could usurp the Adamic bloodline. Then we also have another book here called The Gods of Eden, which is written by William Bramley, and he was actually just trying to figure out the origins of war, and his journey led him to doing an entire book on aliens and UFOs and how they're interacting with humans and causing all the conflicts. And then also too, over in the book of Genesis, just read the Bible. Even the King James Bible has a lot of hints and a lot of clues. I'll give you an example. Even in the King James Bible, it says the gods created mankind in their image. Well, what is the image? The image is the DNA. The gods took their DNA to create mankind. They spliced it, creating a hybrid. Also too, in Genesis 2, verse 22, it says, the Lord God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man. Well, the rib contains bone marrow and stem cells, but that's basically what you need to create a hybrid. The stem cells can be programmed to grow into organs and whatever they're programmed to grow into. So if I was going to genetically engineer something and I was going to use the DNA of something else to splice or create a hybrid, I would need the stem cells. Well, the rib is where you can get the bone marrow stem cells. So we have tons of references to this, and I just got censored for talking about it. And I think one of the other reasons that they censored me is because I was talking about how the agenda with the alien grays is they're creating hybrids that look human, but are actually alien DNA so that they can infiltrate the government without being noticed and take over the resources.